I'm back again. Another new one that I got in. Maybe if you saw Martin and mine's live a couple of days ago. It was almost a week ago, actually. He had this deck and I was lusting over it. The Voice of the Souls Oracle was originally, it has been out for ages, but in French. My French is good enough for me to sort of, work with a system that I already know. So if I ever am in France on holiday and I see a cute Lenormand deck, I can work with it. Or if I see a cute tarot deck in French, I can work with it. However, with Oracle, it's more difficult for me because my French is not that amazing. It's very basic. So yeah, quick vape. So when I saw that Rockpool was doing this, I squealed because I'd been lusting after this deck for years. This has been out for a while, and I know not everyone's gonna love this because this is very much that minimalist, sigilly aesthetic. I, however, love that aesthetic. So with me, it's either extremely super detailed, and Mary L worked 11 years on this deck, or it is this. Rockpool's box quality is really good. This has sort of a linen finish. As you can see, it has gold foil. It has a Q printing on the inside. Then we get a guidebook that has sort of that linen textured finish. We get the same print on the inside. And then we get the cards. Let me keep everything separate here for a bit. Then we get the cards. They have this gilding, which is not super shiny. It's sort of matte-ish, but obviously it's not that matte antique gold gilding that we see on a lot of indie decks. Yeah, the backs. Let me show the backs really quickly. They have this really cool mustardy color. And the fronts are stunning. Let me put these down here. So this is very much a deck that was designed by Isabelle, the French author, to sort of empower people in their clairvoyancy and mediumship a little bit, as well as sort of enhancing your psychic abilities. That's the promise this deck makes. And I have to tell you, this has been, actually the reading that I did with it is still on top, so I can show you guys. I have been kind of spooked by its accuracy. It's really, really cool. So she writes this whole bit about psychic ability, how that works, blah, 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 how to go about it, how you can own this oracle, how you can use the cards. There's this whole bit. This is actually really interesting because we get two sorts of cards here. This deck has, I can show that to you in the guidebook. So this deck has the Soul Connection cards. Those are 10 cards that are black. Those cards don't necessarily hold a special card meaning, but it's more like if you get a card like that in a reading, that will mean this is a message intended for you or the querent about that subject. So that's really interesting. And then the other cards are sort of, sigilly artwork with keywords that do have pretty good guidebook entries. But let me show you how this deck flows, because it flows very well. So what I got was, I got these 3 cards. So that was really interesting before I do the whole flip through. So I pulled the cards. I got Anger. So that's a pretty cool one. Then I got It's Not Me. And then I got Message of Warning. So that's telling me, okay, this anger that you are experiencing right now, that feeling inside you is not yours. This is a warning for you to let go of that feeling, for you to revoke that feeling, and to reclaim your yourself, basically. So I do love, and it was true. Like, I didn't know what had come over me, but I was really angry at that point. So I was like, wow, this is scarily accurate and really cool. As you can see, there is a little bit of a sheen because of this cardstock. We can still see the cards fine. So like I said, this card doesn't really have a guidebook entry as to, but it does have it pushes the reading into a certain direction. And as you can see, like I showed you just now, the cards and keywords flow really well together for some reason. So yeah, do the illustrations always have a whole lot to do with the keyword on the card? Sometimes, not always, it's not explained. But this very much is, you know, like I said, a TikTok aesthetic looking deck. Except it also flows and reads really well, which is rare. You know, you don't see that a lot. I love a U card in the deck. It's just really stunning. So this is kind of a... I have one other deck that reads like this, where I feel like I can do a slam reading and throw down card after card, and they just sing. And that's the Return to Spirit by Cheryl Lee Harnish, which does have really cool artwork, but is a bit outdated. And this is a little bit more modern, a more modern take on that. And I like it a lot. You get a message of forgiveness, reunion, submission. So we're getting a lot of these tigers, respect, a message of love, of course. So that's interesting. Regrets, I do like that a lot. Sort of a devil imagery. Freedom. And we do, like I said, we do get those, you know, those hands that are kind of maybe, you know, critics would say can become a bit repetitive, but I really like this. I really like this sigilly secret's really cool. I like this sigilly bohemian minimalist minimal color palette style. I like that a lot. A spiritual message. And the artist, I forgot her name. She is from the United States. However, I do believe she is French. She credited on the box, yes. Daphna Seban. Sounds pretty French. Her style and even some of the sigils that are in this deck have been copied a lot, especially by AliExpress Chinese companies doing stickers. I'm pretty sure I have a bootleg sticker of this somewhere in my journaling box. So yeah, that kind of sucks for her. But as you can see, there's very good, like, grounded in reality keywords on here. Nothing in here is like super 5D or weird or dumb. I don't know, it just flows so well. And it's so of this earth, and I like that a lot. Especially when I was reading the book about psychic abilities and shit like that. I was kind of like, no, I don't know if this is going to be for me. It sounds a bit new agey, but it actually is very approachable, very usable. You can get great readings with this deck. Maybe this will spook me again. Let's just shuffle it so I can show you guys how it shuffles. Rockpool cardstock isn't the greatest ever, but I feel like it's pretty good. And their decks are hella cheap, you know, like, and, you know, they are releasing really cool, edgy things. You can shuffle it fine. It does bow every now and then. I should probably check if if their cardstock has a core. Yeah, it does look like it. Oh, no, it doesn't. Or maybe it does, but it's definitely not a black core. So that's where the bow comes from. When cardstock has no core or a blue or gray core, it usually will bend a lot easier. It will get this bow. When cardstock has no core, but it's like 400 GSM, it won't usually bow that quickly. When cardstock is 300 GSM, which the tarot community hates, but it has casino quality black core, that deck will last you a lifetime and way longer than your You know, your crappy indie deck that went on 350 GSM cardstock. Okay, I'm really fucking up this riffle. It's not because of me. It's because of this deck. No, just kidding. It's because of this playmat that I'm using. I love it, but it's very slippery. So this is not a cloth. This is actually a tabletop game playmat that I ordered off Amazon, but it's kind of slippery, the fabric, you know, for picking up cards. So let's see if we can get like a cute little reading from this. So we get mirror effect. So this is especially about, you know, seeing stuff in others that annoys you, and that it's usually, let me put this down here, and that's usually something that you recognize in yourself that you don't like. So that's interesting. So this mirror effect has to do with communication. Oh, this is really interesting and spooky again, because yes, that is true in my life at this point. There are certain fears, yes, fears regarding children. Well, not regarding children, but for me personally, maybe losing that childlike sensitivity. So we get a nice little row here. You can put them on top of each other like that. Not being, things maybe getting a bit too serious. That's where the fear is. Ah, reproach, reproach, reproach. I like that a lot. I like this card a lot. I love the art. It's one of my favorites. Let's see what she says about that card on the guidebook, because I did a lot of readings with this and I didn't really check it out yet. Ah, critical, self-critical. Yeah, that's interesting. We're being very self-critical, so that's interesting. And that may actually like manifest into physical pain. So you should probably, and this is where we're going to end the reading because of that card. That's a little system I just thought of just now. You should probably just ask for guidance with this. You don't have to be that perfect. This is really interesting, y'all. This is about something that's going on at work, which I'm not going to get into detail, but this made a lot of sense for me right now. So yeah, like decks like these, they don't get made that much, where you're like, yeah, this is a slam reading deck for me. So that's how I slam read. And with the Return of Spirit Oracle, I slam read till I intuitively feel like I'm done. But with this one, I slam read until that message card, that black card comes up. So really cool deck. 10 out of 10 would advise you to get it if you're in the market for a cool new Oracle deck. So yeah, The Voice of the Souls Oracle by Isabelle Cerf. Illustrations by Daphne Saban. Love it. This has been it, y'all. Good night. Bye-bye.